morning. We're very excited to have Rebecca Lyons, who is with Able Now, and she's going to be presenting on Able accounts, which I know is a topic that has been coming up for a lot of us and has generated lots of questions and lots of interest. So, Rebecca, if you're ready, I'm going to go ahead and change it over to you.
That sounds great. Thank you.
And you are good to go.
Okay, let me just get this started here. Okay, it looks like everybody can see the screen now. Again, Amy, thank you so much for allowing me to present information about the ABLE program today. Again, my name's Rebecca, and I work for Virginia 529, which is the state agency that developed and administers ABLE Now. So we just love to have the opportunity to share information about the program and the importance of ABLE for individuals with disabilities across the United States. Let's get that. Let's start with what's going to be covered during the course of this presentation. My hope is that you'll leave the session today with a very good understanding of the ABLE Act. Now, the ABLE Act established the rules and requirements of ABLE accounts, such as who's eligible, how much you can save, and these types of things. We'll also go through the features and benefits of the ABLE Now program and how you can get more information and open an ABLE account. But there are a few things that I can't cover. I can give you information about the ABLE program, but I can't provide legal, financial, tax, or benefits advice. And also to make sure that we go through the basics and get through the presentation on time, and I know you'll have questions as well, I may not be able to dive too deeply into individual circumstances and scenarios. You may have questions that fall outside my area of expertise, and if that happens, I will refer you to our in-house customer service team. They're absolutely fabulous, and they can give you the most up-to-date and accurate information. So if you do have questions, there should be a portion on your dashboard where you can type them in towards the bottom and then hit the send button. But please know that most of the questions will be answered at the end of the presentation. But I do want to hear from you. So what is ABLE? As most of you know, for far too long, people with disabilities could not save for the future without a fear of losing their public benefits. So individuals with disabilities can only have $2,000 in assets at any given time in order to still remain eligible for many federal benefit programs, which really provide such important needed support, such as supplemental security income. Advocates fought very hard to change this, resulting in the federal ABLE Act and Virginia's ABLE Now program. ABLE Now accounts are a new savings option specifically designed for eligible individuals with disabilities to save private funds for the purpose of paying for qualified disability-related expenses. You're empowered as an individual with a disability to save up to $15,000 a year in an ABLE account without endangering eligibility for certain means-tested disability benefits like SSI or Medicaid. Now, the contribution limit is tied to the federal gift tax exclusion, and this amount will adjust for inflation in future years. Last year, it was $14,000. In 2018, it grew to $15,000. The Federal ABLE Act of 2014 modified the U.S. tax code. And what this did was it opened the door for states to set up ABLE accounts. The ABLE Act is named for the late Stephen Beck Jr., and he was a man from Virginia who advocated for people with disabilities. He had a daughter with a disability. But sadly, Mr. Beck passed away right before the ABLE Act was signed into law. The ABLE Act was signed by President Obama. You see the picture in the lower left screen. And he named the ABLE Act after Stephen Beck Jr., Achieving a Better Life Experience for Individuals with Disabilities to show respect and to show what a driving force he was in the ABLE Act. So similar to 529 college savings plans, if you're familiar with 529 plans, all ABLE programs must be sponsored and administered by a state. In 2015, Virginia became the first state in the country to pass ABLE legislation after the federal ABLE statute was passed. And the state legislation authorized development of an ABLE program in Virginia. And Virginia's program is a nationwide program. So eligible individuals with disabilities across the country, not just living in Virginia, can open up the ABLE Now plan. So let me tell you just a little bit about ABLE Now. As the Virginia-sponsored program, it opened in December 2016. Again, even though it's sponsored by the Commonwealth of Virginia, our program is available nationwide to eligible U.S. citizens and legal residents, regardless of state residency. So it doesn't matter where you live, you can start an ABLE savings program in a national program like ABLE Now. Today, we have ABLE Now account holders in all 50 states. So I believe we're the largest independent ABLE program in the country. I don't know if many of you have heard of Virginia 529. I keep mentioning that, but perhaps you have people that you may know that are in a 529 plan or that are using a 529 plan. Virginia 529, I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see this. Computer restart is required. Sorry. I'm going to get that off the screen. But again, Virginia 529 is the largest 529 plan in the country. We have over 69 billion in college assets under management and 2.4 million account holders. And so our agency was chosen to provide, to develop and to administer the ABLE program because of our expertise in helping families plan for higher education through tax-advantaged accounts. And these tax-advantaged accounts, again, are very similar in many ways to an ABLE Now account. So we're bringing this expertise as the largest 529 in the country to ABLE Now to help families dream, save, and achieve. And that's why our state leaders made the decision that we were the right agency to develop this. But in addition, as you see on this screen, you see a lot of different agencies that are represented. And before we got started developing ABLE Now, we were able to reach out to many of these organizations. We worked with advocates and potential customers to find out what the community wanted to see in an ABLE savings program. And a number of these organizations were the driving force for the creation of the ABLE Act. So we're most grateful for the advocacy and the lobbying, which took, almost 10 years before the ABLE Act was passed. So today we continue to partner with these organizations and more on the national, state, and local level and rely on their support and expertise in many of the decisions that are made. I don't know if any of you have ever watched the program Born This Way. If you haven't, you really need to take a look at it. ABLE Now was featured on this A&E program, and it's an award-winning TV series. It follows a group of 7 young adults with Down syndrome as they pursue their dreams. And once you watch it, you just get hooked on it. But we partnered with the show to spread the word about ABLE Now accounts and got a great response from it. I think it's so important to get the word out about the ABLE Act and about ABLE Now. And during the program, Megan, one of the cast members, and her mom, Chris, learned about opening an ABLE account to save for Megan's future. So that's just one of the ways that we've been trying to get in front of people to share information about the importance of the ABLE Act. Now let's get into a little bit more about who's eligible. Again, ABLE Now is a national ABLE program open to all eligible individuals in any U.S. state. An eligible individual is considered, and this is for all ABLE programs as part of the ABLE Act, is someone who developed the onset of their disability before age 26 and is either entitled to Supplemental Security Income, SSI, or Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI benefits, based on blindness or disability, or self-certifies that they have a qualifying disability diagnosis from a physician. We have an eligibility quiz available on our website to walk you through these guidelines. And it will really help individuals, and you can do this if you're working with individuals with disabilities to help them determine whether they qualify or not. But it's important to note that eligible individuals may only have one ABLE account at any time. So once someone opens up an ABLE account, they can only have that one account. There are opportunities, should they choose, to roll over to another state's plan at a different time, but only one account can be opened at one particular time. Now, one of the things people really want to know is, how can I use the money in my account? Money in your ABLE account can be used at any time to pay for qualified disability expenses. And an expense is qualified if you incurred the expense at a time you were considered an eligible individual, the expense relates to your disability, and this is a good one, and the expense helps you maintain your health, independence, or quality of life. So we realize that each person is unique. There are going to be specific needs that vary from individual to individual. What you see on this screen are examples of qualified disability expenses, but you're not limited to the categories listed on this slide, on this one. These categories were designed to be intentionally broad, as qualified disability expenses can vary really from person to person. So you can use it for basic living expenses, health and wellness, housing, transportation, education and training. You can use it for college or job training, assistive technology, financial management, legal fees, and much, much more. So for example, if a therapeutic vacation could help you maintain the quality of your life, you could use funds in your ABLE Now account. For instance, if a family went on a vacation and it was therapeutic, it was going to help with the quality of life, the funds could be used to pay for the eligible individual with the disability as well as an attendant, but you probably couldn't invite all your friends and family and pay for them. So anything that helps improve health, independence, and quality of life. So let's go through what the benefits are of having an ABLE Now account. One of the great things is you can track expenses, and it's important that people do this. We recommend that individuals keep records and receipts on how they're spending the money in the ABLE Now account. We have an online consumer portal where expenses can be tracked and notes can be made in records regarding the qualified disability expense. So that's a great thing too, in case the IRS ever wanted to question an expense. But the benefits of an ABLE account, ABLE Now is very flexible, and they're designed to be this way. So they're very easy to manage, easy to contribute to, and easy to use to pay for qualified expenses. And one of the best things about ABLE accounts are the tax advantages. Earnings on your investments grow free from federal taxes as long as you use the account for qualified disability expenses. In addition, some states may offer state tax deductions. For instance, in Virginia, earnings grow free from federal and state taxes, and we do offer Virginia residents tax deduction up to $2,000 per contributor for contributions to an ABLE Now account. And the good thing is, ABLE accounts don't impact benefits. So generally, funds in an ABLE Now account are disregarded when determining eligibility for certain means-tested benefits, such as Medicaid and Supplemental Security Income, or SSI. But for SSI, an account balance up to and including $100,000 is disregarded. If an individual's on SSI, an account withdrawal that's used for a housing expense that's not spent in the same calendar month will be considered an asset. And that could cause SSI benefits to be reduced or suspended. I'll go through that in a little bit more detail. But I do want to share with you as well that a lot of these rules and details are on the able-now.com website with FAQs, so you can see these, and also in our program description. So when I was talking about the impact of a housing expense, let's just say that you take money out of your ABLE account in August, but rent is not due until September. If you withdraw money from your ABLE account for a housing expense, it must be spent in that same month. So if you withdraw it in August, you must pay the rent in August, or else it will be considered a resource if you wait until September. Now that applies just to housing expenses. And if you have questions about that down the road too, I'm glad to go into more depth on that. With ABLE Now, all account holders will receive the ABLE Now card. And what this is a debit card, and it provides a really fast, convenient way to pay for qualified disability expenses straight out of your ABLE Now account. And there's no additional cost for this feature. So the ABLE Now card can be used for a transaction up to $5,000. For anything higher, you'll need to use the online ABLE Now consumer portal to have money transferred to the payee. So you can also do this. I'd like to note too that the ABLE Now card can't be used for cash withdrawals at an ATM, only purchases. The good thing about ABLE accounts and with ABLE Now is that there's a great benefit in how easy it is to make and receive gift contributions directly into an ABLE Now account. So we offer a special website for friends and family to make an online gift contribution. You just need the ABLE Account Now account owner's last name and the account number, and there's no fee for this service. So in addition to the website, gift contributions can be made directly into an ABLE Now account as well by mail. So gift givers may benefit from their contributions too. For instance, and I know you guys are in Indiana, but for Virginia contributors, they get up to a $2,000 per contributor state income tax deduction on their ABLE Now account. But it's a great way for friends and families to give the gift to an ABLE Now account for birthdays, holidays, special events. And again, we have a wide variety of gift certificates online to make that possible. One of the things we try to do is make it really easy for you to save and invest, and for individuals with disabilities to do this at their own pace. And basically, here's how it works. The first $2,000 in your ABLE Now account is automatically allocated to the ABLE Now deposit account. And this is linked to your ABLE Now card. So individuals can continue to make contributions into this deposit account. Once the balance in the ABLE Now deposit account exceeds $2,000, you have the opportunity to invest additional contributions into one or more of the investment portfolios. So each portfolio option is intended to address a different investment strategy and risk tolerance. So for individuals that want to be very aggressive, there's an aggressive growth, which is through the Vanguard Life Strategy Fund, approximately 80% stocks, 20% bonds. You can also choose a moderate portfolio, a conservative, or a money market fund. So primarily the three life strategy funds are through Vanguard, and the money market fund is through Fidelity. but individuals still can make that determination if they choose to keep money in the deposit account as well. As far as account costs go, there are really minimal costs associated with maintaining your account. Able Now, along with our custodian, PNC Bank, offers some of the lowest fees in the country among Able programs. So to get started, there's no enrollment fee, no minimum contribution, and there is an account service fee of $3.25 per month. Now, this service fee is waived if a person maintains a balance over $10,000 in their Able Now account. If the account owner or the authorized representative chooses to invest some of the funds, there are also asset-based fees, and these are very low as well. They range between 0.37% and 0.40%, depending upon the investment that's selected. And again, on our website, we have an account fee schedule that can be pulled up and looked at to get all this information as well. In 2018, you may have heard that there were some updates. The new tax bill, H.R. 1, provided enhancements and a lot of added flexibility. So that's the great news. Again, the contribution limit from all sources. So if an individual wanted to contribute to their account, if family members wanted to contribute, if friends, the maximum account balance they can have, the maximum contribution per year is $15,000. So each year, a person could potentially have an additional $15,000 per year saved. With the 2018 updates, there was also the potential to take advantage of the Savers Tax Credit. And one of the main features that we're so excited about was the Able Financial Planning Act. And what this allowed is many people set up 529 educational savings plans with the hope that their child would attend college or higher education, and later found out that this may not be an option. So now 529 account holders can transfer rollover money from their 529 account to their Able account. And again, this is up to $15,000 per year based on all contributions to the account in any given tax year. And in addition, the Able to Work Act is incentivizing people, beneficiaries, to work and save in their Able account as well. So we're real excited about these changes, and we think that there'll continue to be updates that are very positive. You can see a lot of this information as well on our website. We always have resources and current news on there. So please go to able-now.com to see some of these. So we've covered the Able Act, the benefits of the Able Now program. So let's talk about the next steps. If you're working with an individual that's interested in opening an account or wants more information. So if someone's ready to start saving in an Able program, in Able Now, you can see that we've got the Open an Account button here at the top of the screen. So everything can be opened up directly online. You'll also see links on the top of the page. Once an account is open, then individuals can go to My Account and they can manage their account there, or have a person that's helping them manage this account. In addition, there's the link to give a gift if somebody's interested, subscribe to our newsletter, and the resource tab and contact information is there as well. So what do you need to open an account? If an individual is able to open an account for themselves, they'll just need name, address, date of birth, and social security number. They have the choice to enter a bank account information with their application, or wait until later when the account is open to provide that banking information. If the eligible individual is a minor under 18, a parent must open the account. as the authorized representative. If the eligible individual can't open the account or would prefer to have assistance, an individual authorized to act on his or behalf, a parent, legal guardian, or power of attorney, may open and manage the account as the authorized representative. Legal guardians and attorneys, in fact, are required to submit the appropriate legal documentation before being able to contribute or distribute funds. And after opening an account, the individual will receive an email with information on managing and contributing to the new account through the online Able Now consumer portal. Able accounts and the programs are still so new, and we're finding that people are constantly asking about us. We're finding that there's really so many families and so many people that don't know what Able is. So we encourage you to visit our website, subscribe to our updates, follow us at Able Now Virginia on Facebook and Twitter, and please just help spread the word about Able and how important the Able Act is. We find that if people can share it with friends, family, and community groups, then the word about the Able Act and how significant it is for individuals with disability will grow, and people will know more on how they can save and not jeopardize certain means-tested benefits. Now I'm going to go through this pop quiz. I know you guys are muted, so you can't answer me. So just keep some of these questions in mind, and I'll try to answer them too as we go. But ABLE is an abbreviation for, so in your own mind, think about this. Okay, it's Achieving a Better Life Experience for Individuals with Disabilities. I'm older than 26. May I open an Able Now account? I'll give you a few minutes to jot your answer down to this one. Okay, yes, absolutely. The onset of the disability must occur before the 26th birthday, but account owners can be any age to open an Able Now account as long as the onset of the disability occurred before their 26th birthday. Do I need to live in Virginia to open an Able Now account? Absolutely not. It's a nationwide program. Okay, I'm going to give you a minute to think about this. How much can I save in my Able Now account each year? That's every year. What is the maximum amount that can be contributed each year? Remember, it's tied to the gift tax exclusion. So currently, it's $15,000. This is something that I haven't really been able to delve too much into, but I'm sure you'll have questions about it. But can I have an Able Now account and a special needs trust? And since I didn't go over this, I'd like to share with you, yes. We have many people that find it's valuable to have both an Able Now account and a special needs trust. So an Able Now isn't going to, it can be a great supplement to a special needs. So an Able Now account can be used for basic living expenses and saving for the future, and a special needs trust can be a great addition as a wealth transfer tool as well. So you can absolutely have both. What happens to the money in my Able Now account after my death? Is there a Medicaid payback? Okay, for this one, yes, there is. If you were an eligible individual at the time you were on Medicaid and you pass away, Medicaid can come back and ask for a Medicaid payback. Now, the good news about Able is that you can use it for a wide variety of expenses. So you could still pay for a lot of the qualified disability related expenses that individual occurred with your Able Now account, including funeral and burial expenses. But Medicaid can come back and ask for a portion of that back. Okay, the next question, who can contribute to an Able Now account? The individual can contribute private funds if they choose to, friends, family, just about anyone can contribute to an Able Now account. Where do I open an Able account? You can open it directly online through able-now.com. And again, these and other answers can be found on our resource tab under FAQs, and I recommend that you go to that page and look at it in more depth as well. I do want to share with you again that I'm sure you'll have a lot of questions even after this webinar ends and want to know more. So please, this is our contact information, our phone number, as well as our customer service number if you wish to just email them with questions, and they're great about responding and can give you help. But now I'd like to open it up to the questions that some of you have been asking, and let's hear from you.
All righty, let me pull up the questions for you. So does the individual need to spend the $15,000 in a one-year time frame?
No, absolutely not. The beauty of having an Able Now account is that you can save for the future with this. So you could save all of the $15,000 a year if you choose to, or you can use all or part of it, you know, for expenses as well. So it's really up to you how much you want to save or invest and how much you want to use for current expenses.
Okay. Do you happen to know if Indiana offers any tax incentives for Able account?
I had looked it up. A great resource that I'd like to share with all of you is the ablenrc.org, I believe it is, the Able National Resource Center, and you can pull up all the various programs. I checked this morning and it didn't show a tax advantage. The earnings would grow tax-free, but I didn't see state income tax incentive for Indiana.
Okay, so again, that's ablenrc.org for all of you.
Yes.
So you might want to jot that down.
And
Can
right
someone
now,
get money?
oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's the Able National Resource Center, and they've got great webinars. You can compare program to program as well. So you could compare Indiana to Virginia if you choose to.
Excellent. Can somebody get money from an inheritance and put it into the Able account?
They could put it into a personal checking account that's linked to an Able account, and then you could, again, contribute to your Able Now account, but it cannot be more than that $15,000 a year. So you couldn't directly put an inheritance into an account. It would have to be transferred from a personal checking account, but with keeping in mind that it can't exceed $15,000 for all contributors during that year.
Okay. Can an individual eventually buy a car or a down payment on a house go into, you know, using their Able account?
Yeah, we really won't tell you what you can or can't use it for, but if that helps improve your health, independence, or quality of life, for instance, we'll see a lot of people that are purchasing, you know, vans that they upgrade for handicap purposes to help them get in and out. You can use it for anything that helps with those three things. So it's very broad. And if that helps that person, then they can make that determination and use the money for that if it helps within those categories. And it can be used for transportation as well. So you would think that that would fall within that.
And then what kind of incentives are there for beneficiaries to work? Is there any kind of, there's none related to the Able account, correct?
Well, with the new with the new tax laws that were implemented, now individuals that do work can save incremental funds into their Able account. And they're kind of fine-tuning this through Virginia's program right now on how this will all work. But if the account owner and a beneficiary for an Able Now account are the same person, so if they are working and they're not participating in an employer-sponsored, you know, like retirement plan, they can save an additional, I believe it's $12,060 in an Able account. So that's an added benefit for those people that work. And I'd encourage them, you know, if anyone's interested in that too, they can get more information from our office on that and how to participate that way. But that was one of the benefits of some of the tax reform that went into place in 2018.
Okay. And of course, the ABLE account doesn't go against resources, so it helps them maintain their benefits anyway. So
Yeah,
if they're
right. So the good thing about an ABLE Now account is prior to this legislation, again, you couldn't have more than $2,000 in assets without jeopardizing those benefits. But now an ABLE account allows you to save, and it won't jeopardize those benefits.
So, and it seems to me the benefits of the ABLE account versus a specialized trust is the ABLE account's a little more accessible, a little bit more flexible than the traditional specialized trust. Am I correct?
Right. One of the advantages of an ABLE account, and again, it's not to replace a special needs trust, but for individuals that are able to make their own decisions and they can work with the account rather than having a trustee manage the account, an individual can manage this, or someone with signature authority. It's a lot less to set up. Trust can be very expensive, and it can be used for a lot of things, either current expenses or saving for the future. But again, it can go hand in hand with the trust as well. You know, if someone did want to leave, say, a large inheritance or insurance policies or things like that, they may look at a trust to do that, where they can use an ABLE account for housing and other expenses as well. So they can go hand in hand, but it's more flexible, it's easy to set up, and very low fees. There's no fee to set an ABLE account up.
Okay. And somebody just, this is a comment, based on my research, the state legislature here in Indiana has a bill before it to treat these accounts the same as 529, so it would be a good thing to contact your representative about. So
to get more information or to share, yeah, they're treated a lot like 529 accounts. There are a lot of similarities, and so we're glad to have that rollover option now from 529 to ABLE.
Okay. Another question. So what I'm understanding is that a client works and he makes too much money, he can put the extra income from work into the ABLE account. This particular individual is trying to save to go to college.
Okay, right. If a person wants to save for college, they can definitely put it into an ABLE account, as long as they're an eligible individual and meet all those requirements. So they can use it, you know, for college, they can use it for training programs, it could be used for therapies that aren't covered by insurance, a lot of different things. But a person could save in an ABLE Now account for education, absolutely.
Which is a great thing.
Yeah, it really is. And I think with 529s, and I'm a big advocate for 529s because we do a lot of presentations and work, you know, with Virginia 529 as well. So we do have a lot of people now interested in rolling over to ABLE. And I think the benefit with ABLE versus a 529 is it can be used for more. So if someone is saving for that and they don't go to college or they're not going to use it for education, they can use it for other things, and they can use it for other types of trainings as well.
Okay. Is the minimum amount $2,000 to start, or can you start with a lower amount?
Oh, no, you can open an ABLE account, an ABLE Now account, with any amount. So there's no minimum contribution. You can put as much or as little as you'd like to. So there's no minimum contribution. That $2,000 limit is just once an account reaches $2,000, then you have the option to decide if you want to choose an investment option and save more money with an investment. But you don't have to. You can pick one of those 4 investment portfolios, or you can just keep it in the deposit account. So any amount you can contribute.
Okay. So what happens to the money should the individual with the account pass away? Is it like the special needs trust where all the money goes back to the state?
Yeah, it would go back to the estate. But again, before that happens, it can be used for burial and funeral expenses and to pay any outstanding qualified disability expenses for that individual before it goes to the estate.
To the state itself?
Oh, I'm sorry, for the estate. And I'm thinking about Medicaid payback provisions when I'm
Okay.
answering that. Yes, but it would be, yes, it would be go to the estate, however that estate is set up for that person. The
So it would
Medicaid
revert back to the estate, and then it could be used back. Medicaid could request it as.
right. So for the Medicaid payback for the state portion, if that's what you're talking about, yes.
Yeah.
Before it goes back to them, you know, taking some portion of that, then you still do have the options to use it to pay off those other expenses and the funeral and burial.
Okay. Do we have any other questions? Give everybody a minute here.
Let me just share one other thing. You know, the programs, there are different ABLE programs that are out there right now. And so the features and benefits are going to vary from program to program. The investment options, whether a state has a debit card, how that works. We're really excited about our debit card and the flexibility that that offers and how easy it is to use that for transactions, or how people can, you know, pay things, you know, directly electronically if they need to. But if you do have other questions about ABLE Now, please call us or email us, and we'd be glad to help with that as well.
Okay. Well, we haven't gotten in any further questions, so I don't want to take up more of your day. We had a comment, great information. I agree, really helpful. I've learned a lot. Definitely beneficial to know more about this, and I feel better prepared to talk to families, so that's a positive. So thank you so much for your time today, Rebecca. We really, really do appreciate it. Lots of great information, and everybody has, the website is up, so please take advantage of that. Go to theablenow.com for more information. If you have questions after today, you can email that customer service at able-now.com and get help. Hopefully everybody else has found this as beneficial as I have, and I thank you for your time, Rebecca. Have a wonderful weekend, and thank you, everyone else.
Thank you so much, and thank you all for joining me too. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Well, thank you all for your time today. We really do appreciate it. Hope you found the presentation beneficial, and we will see you hopefully on another webinar in the future. Have a wonderful weekend.